DQ200 second generation dry double clutch removal and installation tutorial. Preparation. Disconnect the negative pole of the battery to prevent short circuit risk during removal of the starter, using relevant common tools, special DQ200 disassembly tools, and an automotive diagnostic scanner. Disassembly process. 1. Disassembly of the gearbox. 1. Shut down the vehicle and shift to parking gear. Open the engine hood. 2. Dismantle the air filter assembly. 3. Disconnect the positive and negative poles of the battery. Remove the battery assembly and dismantle the battery bracket. 4. Use an open crowbar to pry off the gear, shifting cable buckle, and remove the bracket. 5. Remove the starter assembly and the connecting wire harness. 6. Disconnect the electrical plug of the double clutch gearbox, electromechanical control module J743. Remove the wiring harness bracket and fix it to the vehicle body and zip ties. Remove all fixing bolts of the gearbox, engine, and upper parts. 7. Use an engine hanger frame to lift the engine until it is dressed. 8. Take down the engine guard. Remove the front wheels and front control arm ball joints. Remove the left front wheel liner. 9. Remove the left and right axle shaft hub nut and the fixing bolts connecting the inner side to the flange. Then take out the left and right axle shaft assembly. 10. Remove the central fixing bolt of the inner flange on the right side axle shaft and then take off the right side axle shaft flange. 11. Remove the fixing screws of the gearbox suspension bracket. Lower the engine and gearbox slightly and then take down the gearbox bracket. Remove all the bolts of the gearbox except one that is easy to detach, while using the gearbox bracket to support the gearbox assembly. Remove the last bolt. Slowly move and detach the gearbox assembly. Disassembly of the double clutch. 1. Remove the exhaust vent cover of the gearbox and double clutch gearbox electromechanical control module J743 and use proper sealing for leakage prevention. 2. Using a flathead screwdriver, pry and remove the K1 torsion shock absorber snap ring. Pull out the torsion shock absorber with a suitable tool. 3. Use special tools, including a supporting device T10323 and a thrust block T10376 to slightly press down on the clutch body and remove the snap ring fixing the dual clutch body. 4. Install a puller T10373A into the central supporting crossbeam of the clutch body. Pull out the body slowly and handle and store it carefully. 5. Remove the bearings of K1 and K2 connection levers. Unscrew the fixing bolts of K2 connection lever and remove K2 connection lever. 6. Use a suitable tool to remove the ball pin of the old K2 connection lever. Installation process. 1. Inspection of the double clutch before installation. 1. Check if the oil seals of K1, K2 input shafts have worn and need to be replaced. Inspect the condition of the double mass flywheel and determine if any repair or replacement is required. Determine if the input shaft guide bearing needs to be replaced. 2. Clean the dirt inside the gearbox housing. Check the condition of the K1, K2 input shafts and teeth. Apply an appropriate amount of lubricating grease and remove excess grease. 2. Installation steps of the double clutch. 1. Install the K2 connection lever ball pin and the K2 connection lever and tighten them to the standard torque of 8 Nm plus 90 degrees. Hold the upper part of the guide sleeve with one hand. Rotate the lower part of the guide sleeve with the other hand in the direction indicated by the arrow until the guide sleeve can move freely. 2. Install the K1 connection lever and measure and record the free clearance of K1, K2 of the uninstalled double clutch body. Select K1, K2 adjustment shims with the appropriate thickness in the shim table for installation. 3. Install K1 adjustment shims with the cone facing downwards and the plane facing upwards. 4. Install K2 adjustment shims and separation bearings. The angular surface should face downwards to ensure stability of the shims. 5. Install the double clutch body. After the body is placed, confirm that the spline teeth of the driven plate have been engaged with the input shaft profile. Next, use special tools, including a support device T10323 and a thrust block T10376, to slowly press and rotate the double clutch body until it is in place. 6. Use snap ring pliers to install the fixing snap ring of the double clutch body. 7. Using the puller T10373A, insert it into the center support beam of the clutch body and manually rotate the bolt to slightly lift the body until it fits snugly against the retaining ring. 8. Use measurement tools to measure the air gap of the K1-K2 friction plate at 3 angles and determine if it is within the recommended range. If the gap is not within the recommended range, remove the double clutch body and select suitable adjustment shims for installation and gap testing. 9. Install the K1 torsional damper according to the marked positioning points. Secure the torsional damper with a retaining snap ring. Then, use a dedicated tool to pry the connection lever back and forth 3 to 5 times to ensure proper seating. Perform the installation in reverse order. Tighten all fastening bolts to the specified torque as outlined in the repair manual. Avoid forced installation. DSG matching process. This video only demonstrates how X431 diagnostic instrument is used for matching operations. 1. Using the diagnostic instrument, select car brand and click OK to enter the System and Functions interface. 2. Open System List and select Gearbox Electronic Devices. 3. Enter Basic System Adjustment. Select Start Quick Matching of Double Clutch. Click OK and adjust. Next, wait for the basic setting option to change to correctly completed. 4. Return to System and Functions interface. 5. Enter Guiding Functions. After checking basic vehicle information, click Start. 6. Select Gearbox Electronic Devices and click to enter Guiding Functions on the side. 7. Select Gearbox Electric Control System 0AM and click OK. 8. Enter basic settings of electromechanical devices. Follow the prompts to meet the requirements and click Continue until the Select the Basic Settings interface appears. 9. Select 2. Basic settings of gearbox and 3. Gearbox adaptive driving. Follow the prompts to meet the requirements and click Continue to proceed to the next step until the matching operation is completed.